spoke in a conference last month, and during the question and answer time, a mom asked me, Grace, I understand the importance of learning during the first 5 years and how it can influence brain development. But every time I try to teach my baby something, my husband doesn't like it. He tells me that anyway, our baby is going to learn all that in school, so why torture him right now? Hi everyone, this is Grace. Welcome to my channel. If you are a parent or if you have a partner or a family member who thinks like that, Dad, then I'm doing this video just for you. So in today's video, we are going to talk about how providing learning opportunities to babies and little children, far from torturing them, is vital to their brain development. So hopefully by the end of this video, you will have a whole new perspective on why babies and little children should learn and what you can teach them. Moreover, as we go along, I will be sharing some mind-blowing facts and research data that you can use to convince your partner or that family member who is against babies and little children learning. So let's begin. Before we get to learning and how it can build your child's brain, let's first talk about why some of us think learning is a torture for children. Well, the primary reason for this belief is that most of us confuse learning with education. You see, education and learning are two different things. Education begins when a child starts school at around 4 or 5 years of age, whereas learning begins even before a baby is born and continues way after a child leaves school. Anyway, during the time a child spends at school, most children tend to associate learning with torture, with pain, because of all those boring classes, assignments, tests, spankings, punishments, emotional abuse, and whatnot. And that is exactly why most of us look at learning as a torture, as a pain. But that is certainly not how we looked at learning when we were born. Because when we were born, we badly wanted to learn. We loved to learn. And whether we realize it or not, that is how all babies and little children look at learning. You see, when a baby is born, everything in a baby's world is new. So if a baby has to survive and thrive on this planet, the baby has to learn, and that to learn quickly, learn how to breathe, learn how to walk, learn a new language, learn about cause and effect, learn about nearly everything in his or her environment. So learning according to a baby is a necessity. It is a survival need. And that is why Mother Nature has blessed babies with this incredible brain power, their ability to learn things faster and easily than any adult out there. Now let's look at this chart from the Harvard University. As you can see, the first few years of life is when learning and the ability to process information is at its peak. But then this ability slowly decreases and plateaus around 5 years of age, which means the speed in which the brain learns and processes information during the first 5 years of life will never ever be the same again in a child's entire life. Again, this means by the time our children start school, they would have lost their super brain power. That's interesting, isn't it? Now let's look at another chart which shows the amount of effort needed to learn. As you can see, the effort needed for the brain to learn and change is very less during the first few years of life. That is why kids can learn a new language or a new skill very easily and effortlessly when compared to us. So now that we know that babies can learn things easily and that they are intrinsically motivated to learn, let's talk about how learning builds a baby's brain. You see, when a baby is in the womb, billions and billions of brain cells called neurons are formed in the brain. If you are new to neurons, think of them as tiny messengers that help carry information from the external world to the brain, between different parts of the brain, and from the brain to different parts of our body. In short, neurons are what helps our brain function efficiently, and without them, our brain is of no use. Anyway, these tiny messengers called neurons who carry information can't work alone. They have to work together. So every time a baby experiences something or learns something new, these little guys called neurons talk to each other. And every time they talk to each other, they make a connection. We call this synapses, or you might have heard about this as the firing and wiring of neurons. neurons. So the more neurons talk with each other, the more they connect with each other. And the more they connect with each other, the more efficient they get in helping the brain learn, process, store, and retrieve information. Because when they connect, they form a network through which information can be sent, received, and processed efficiently. Anyway, now let's talk about how learning influences a baby's growing brain. As I mentioned earlier, a baby's brain at birth has billions and billions of neurons, right? But then most of the neurons have not made any connections yet, because obviously a baby hasn't had many learning experiences yet, right? So those billions and billions of neurons in your baby's brain are just waiting to talk and connect with each other so they can get established and form a network through which information can be sent, received, and processed efficiently. In other words, a baby has a brain, but it is not functional yet. Even though a baby's brain grows rapidly during the first 5 years of life, the physical growth alone does not make it functional. Instead, experiences, especially learning experiences that a child gets during the first 5 years of life, is what makes the brain functional. So learning is not a torture. Learning is how a baby's brain is built and wired. Now let's talk about what you can help your baby learn. As Glenn Turman puts it, you can help your baby learn anything, literally anything under the sun that you can present to him or her in a fun, loving way. Not many people are aware of this fact, but little children can learn easily and effortlessly than any adult on this planet. That is why Maria Montessori, the founder of Montessori method of education, compares a child's brain with that of a sponge because it has the ability to absorb anything and everything in its environment. So be it a new language, a new skill, or a new fact, name it, your baby can learn anything if you present it in a fun, loving way. And let me also tell this. Brain development is not predestined. It is an ever-changing process, which means it's a process that can be stopped, slowed, or accelerated. So the more learning opportunities your baby gets during the first 5 years of life, the more neural connections are formed in the brain. The more neural connections, the more sophisticated your child's brain becomes. I'll be talking more about this and also will be sharing interesting learning activities that you can do with your baby to boost brain development on this channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing and also hit that bell icon so you get notified when I upload those videos. So to recap, learning is not a torture. It is a survival need for your baby because it is how a baby's brain is built and wired. And all babies love to learn and they want to learn. And the cool thing is they can learn anything that you can present to them in a fun, loving way. So that's it for now. It was quite a video. I hope I was able to convince you. If I did, or even if I failed to convince you, do share your views in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, help me spread the word by liking and sharing this video. Once again, I thank you for stopping by and I thank you for watching my videos. Until next time, don't forget to be a little playful, mindful, and intentional. See you soon.